Hello again, and welcome to Wassen's Wellness Corner. My name is Wassen I'm a clinical social worker, and I will be talking with you about bath salts. Buyer beware, buyer beware, buyer beware. If ever this adage was true, it's certainly true in the context of experimenting with bath salts. There is a cycle that leads our young people to experiment with this dangerous drug. The cycle is curiosity leads to experimentation, experimentation leads to habituation, and habituation leads to addiction. Persons who ingest bath salts, not very long after ingesting bath salts, experience intense cravings to use this drug again. This seemingly harmless party drug can have very negative effects on the users. That is not to say that everyone who uses bath salts will have negative side effects. That is to say that a substantial number of bath salt users wind up in our emergency rooms and in our police stations because of their behavior. As far as the human body is concerned, the negative effects of bath salts can be strokes, seizures, arrhythmias, heart attacks, etc. The psychological effects of bath salts users is that it causes them to be combative with first responders and others, which can be very dangerous. Bath salts can be ingested by smoking, orally, taken orally in a technique that we call bombing, in which the bath salt is wrapped in cigarette paper and swallowed. It can be taken sublingually, rectally, by sniffing lines, and of course by needle injection. Recently, we've seen a rise in bath salt vaping. The negative effects of this drug far outshadow the pleasurable effects of using this drug, which we will talk about shortly. The negative effects of using bath salts or binging on bath salts, usually in festive settings, is that the user will experience hallucinations, usually of the demonic type, in which the person will feel they're being chased by the devil or sought after by demons, combativeness, panic attacks, and hypothermia, which is an increase in the body temperature far above what's normal, will cause the user to disrobe. So, if you're in a situation where you see an individual who's naked from the waist down or is partially disrobed, you can rest assured that individual is probably experiencing hyperthermia. Bath salt addiction is on the rise because of its pleasant effects, cheap cost, and availability. The 5 most pleasant effects reported by bath salt abusers are creativity or energy surges, which leads the individual to experience such symptoms as insomnia and restlessness, visual hallucinations, in which they see colors, shapes, demons, enhanced mental acuity, hyper-alertness, hypervigilance, sharper focus, and it intensifies sexual arousal, or it can be used as an aphrodisiac. And gregariousness. The person high on bath salts may be very talkative, very outgoing, and very uninhibited. Now, as I enumerate the positive and the pleasant effects of bath salts, you can imagine that these are effects that most people would like to have. Wouldn't we all like to have a little more energy and feel a lot more creative? Wouldn't we like to have some pleasant visual hallucinations that create a sort of euphoria, all is well type atmosphere? Enhanced mental acuity, being sharper, being more alert than ever, and having more brilliant ideas than we thought we were capable of having. And not to mention the aphrodisiac qualities of this drug. Most persons would like to have a more pleasurable sexual encounter if possible. And of course, being gregarious and outgoing. For those persons who may be shy, somewhat inhibited, or withdrawn under the influence of Molly or bath salts, they will be even more outgoing and feel more comfortable in crowds and in socializing. Despite the misinformation about bath salts being natural, being safe, and being fun-filled, they are very dangerous drugs, and we still have not been able to study all of the possible effects that can come from using bath salts due to their dangerous, unpredictable, and negative effects. Bath salts should be avoided at all costs. Please subscribe and click on the link below if you like this webinar. Thank you. See you next time in Wassen's Wellness Corner.